Will come to order, please. The notice requirements of the Open Public Meeting Act for this meeting have been satisfied. Would you please turn off all electronic equipment as we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Attention, salute. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Mayor Becker?
Here.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Here.
Commissioner Blumberg?
I'm here.
We have before us for approval our minutes of our meetings of August 18th. What is your pleasure?
I'll make a motion we approve those minutes. I'll second that.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
We will now open for the first of two public comments. At this comment period, you can speak on any subject at all. You have 3 minutes to speak. If you come forward to the microphone, state your name and address, please. Is there any public comment?
Sewell, 22 West Drive. I'll soften it up for the rest of them. Mayor, when will you stop financially raping, robbing, and pillaging the senior citizen taxpayers? Mayor, you have no shame, no scruples, no moral compass when it comes to your solemn sworn oath to uphold the New Jersey State Constitution that specifically, expressly mandates and demands a thorough and efficient education. Mayor, you knowingly and willfully appointed fiscally irresponsible school board members. How clueless and brain dead can you be, Mayor, when the county school superintendent tells you point blank, your school board miserably fails all 7 indicators of efficiency. Contrary to what your Goomba paisan Giovanni asserts, the board is not totally autonomous, quite the antithesis. The board is also bound by the members' solemn sworn oaths to uphold the New Jersey Constitution and its clear and unmistakable stipulation to provide a thorough and efficient education. Squandering $13 million each and every year for a student population that's been shrinking at warp speed is totally insane, absurd, and beyond ridiculous. Your hand-picked school board cronies are in dire need of adult supervision. It starts by closing the Thai school and by repurposing the 3rd floor of the Ross School. This could and should have been done long ago. We don't need any more goofy studies. This boondoggle has been studied to death. It's high time to act, and act swiftly. Start by ordering the rec department out of Ross and retrofit classrooms. Ditto for Potina's palatial superintendent Diggs, gone and redundant. Give Johnny D his notice in the process. If you want even more space, then to do what your solicitor's arch nemesis so wisely advises. Release Longport from its sending and receiving agreement with Margate. Get on the stick, Mayor. Your addled vacillation and disorientation is costing taxpayers millions of dollars each and every year. It's time to act. Act now. Stop beating this horse to death. Consolidate into one and only one school with one and only one administrator.
Good timing, John. Anyone else?
Art Cotilli, 114 North Lancaster Avenue. To add to what John was saying, I was looking at the class sizes. You have 352 kids in the school. It's an all-time extremely low number. And by the end of this year, you're going to graduate a class of 42 and replace it with 26. So you're going to lose another 16. So we're going to be down really low now. if you listen to what Mr. Sless said at one time, he said that when it got to be 21 or 22 students in a class, he would look to break them up into two parts. Now, if you don't want to change the bar, which it seems it's now happening, every one of the grades in this school, except for third grade, is 42 students or fewer. So 21 would be just fine. You won't even have to go to 22. So to me, every grade should have just 2 rooms. And if you're looking at that, you know, 9 rooms would be 18 rooms, and the additional one for the 51 little jump in the pie there at the third grade. That might have 3. So you'll have 19 rooms is all that's necessary. I can't see how you won't have 19 rooms in Ross School. In addition, John mentioned about the 7 deadly sins that happened from the county sending this letter. It's not a friendly letter. It's a letter saying, here's where you're overspent. And each of these items is what's being spent above and beyond the state median. And I looked down to 7 real quickly, and I noticed that the largest of all is $1,500 per student. And that letter came out in January. $1,500 per student. At the time, they had 400 students. $600,000 the school's spending on building maintenance, above and beyond the state median. They're already spending the state median. So they may be somewhere near the top for the whole state. This is not a good thing to be in that. So it's not just the Margate people, like John Sewell and myself and whatever, just crying in the wilderness. You have the county now keeping an eye on you. That's not good, because I'm sure they copied the state on that. So something has to be done, and I think if we just even adhere to what Mr. Celeste said, and not change the bar if that's what they're thinking of doing, we should have no more than 2 classrooms per grade. In addition, we do stand a good chance of losing Longport. I was talking to our Longport rep there on the school board, and he says one thing at a time, Art. He says, we're working on it. So there's another drop of 25. I mean, so you're going to be below 300 soon anyway. No matter what you do, you're going to be in the 200s. I mean, is there a chance that do you need a study? Here's your study. Just look at how many there are, and how many are graduating, and how many replace them. Thank you.
Thank you, Art.
Hello, my name is Gil Zuckerman. I live at 12 South Vendome. I have some members of our block here who represent 5 homeowners on the block. We're here to discuss verbalize our feelings about parking on the street. There used to be a no parking during the summer season on our street. Apparently, starting about 9 years ago, there was a change ruling. However, the way this was functioning is that the city made the parking alternate side of the street parking between 9 a.m. and 8 p.m. during the season, so that each year it would be on one side, and then the other year it was on the other side. That's been going on for 9 years. I don't know under what authority that was working, but we like the way that works for a number of reasons. The people that are here to talk about this have feelings and issues that they'd like to express in the event that this policy is going to be changed. If it's not going to be changed, then we don't have a problem. But we do have a number of reasons why we don't like the changing of that policy. So that's where we stand. I guess what we're a little uncertain about is that we had no idea that this law was changed in 2007 to say there are no parking regulations, and yet the city has continued to put up signs every year from Memorial Day to Labor Day saying you can only park on this side of the street, you can't park on the other side of the street. This has worked very well because people who want to go to the beach can come during the day and park, and then they take the car away, and we're concerned with a number of issues, including people from the Island House coming and leaving their car there 24 hours a day. And so I don't want to use up all my time because there's a number of issues about this, but we would like to have the proper format to have input into this and understand better what is the policy, because there apparently is a policy, because there hasn't been allowed since 2007 parking on both sides of the street. So
Thank you. Chief, why don't you...
I mean, there's a lot of issues about greenhouse parking,
Okay.
you know, the reasons why this was done in the first place, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
All right, I'm going to have the chief of police explain to you exactly what the policy is and all that.
Okay.
And as we, we'll let him do that first, okay?
Actually, what had occurred, I'm David Wilson, I'm chief of police. What occurred was in back in 07, I'm embarrassed to tell you that the ordinance was changed that lifted the parking restrictions, unbeknownst to us. It didn't get discovered until, I believe, probably a month and a half ago, as a result of a builder making inquiry on Cedar Grove regarding a driveway. We looked at it subsequently and said, you know what, it's been restricted. So what you're calling the policy has actually been a misinterpretation or misenforcement of the law, that should have been lifted in 07. So between now that we're at the end of the summer, the signs will in fact come down, and I will have to consult with the commission as to whether they want to reinstitute that ordinance or not. Because as it stands today, there's nothing enforceable about that parking ordinance. It doesn't exist any longer. We weren't aware of the change, so there's a difference. Even though you call it a policy, it's unenforceable. It has to be done by ordinance. That ordinance was repealed to do it. And fortunately, I mean, I hate to say this, I'll probably get in trouble, we got away with it for all these years and nobody brought up, and it was brought up on a whim by a builder.
So we'd like to request that we consider to reinstall and state the ordinance, and we'd like to have an opportunity to voice our feelings about that and whatever format we think would be appropriate.
So my understanding is that this situation exists on Union
And Venda.
and Cedar Grove. So we have 3 blocks?
Cedar Grove's not involved in this.
Okay,
Union and
but forever we had no parking on Cedar Grove, and now we have parking
8
on...
o'clock at night to
Venda till the next month.
It was, originally there was no parking, then it was opened up to parking during the day you could not park on those 3 streets between 8 at night and 5 in the morning, I believe. It's right. It's 8 p.m. to 9 a.m.
So just for me, because this is new to me, what we need to work on is some consistent policy law that works for everybody involved. Is that what the goal is?
Something you need to keep in mind, if I may, there are neighbors, your neighbors, who have sent emails saying they love this they wanted the parking restriction lifted. When Cedar Grove got lifted, they wanted Union and Venda lifted. That's what essentially brought it to light to myself and to the commission. So there are conflicting views here.
Right. Well, we have 5 homeowners on the lot represented right here.
I understand that.
We haven't even got to...
No, but I just want to make you aware of the fact, we don't do these things on a whim. It was brought to my attention from one of your fellow residents who wants the restriction gone. So we need to take that into consideration also.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wants to talk on this subject? Is there anyone else in your group that would like to talk about this subject?
Hi, I'm Kurt Heffler. I live on South Vendome also.
Address, please.
16 South Vendome. The concern we have is that on our side of Margate, we're very close to the Ventura's, which serves alcohol late at night. We would not like to have people, we like having our street quiet at night and would not want the people coming out of the bar and coming onto the street, waking us up late at night. A lot of us bought, very expensive homes on this street. Because of the quiet nature of it, we would like to retain the nature of the street the way it has been as long as I've been on the street. Yeah, and I don't know if there was anybody else that you mentioned other people that were opposed to it. Everybody on the street that I've spoken to likes it the way it is. If anybody did express a preference to have the parking changed, they may have expressed a desire for parking maybe around the overnight on one side of the street. I can't imagine anybody on my street would want that street turned into a one-way street with parking 24 hours on both sides of the street.
I actually have the email that came, that's what precipitated this whole conversation last meeting.
Folks, let's sit down, calm down. Why don't we talk about what you're thinking? Let's not talk about people who are not here and express opinions for them, okay? We're interested in what you feel.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Any other public comment?
Diane Vogel, 1 South Vendome. I don't know if this was just said by Gil, but just wanted to be aware of one of the reasons why they wanted this parking was to give the opportunity for people to go to the beach. Once you load these streets with cars all weekend long, there's no opportunity for people who live a little bit farther back in Margate by the bay. I mean, they come up and they park on our street, they go to the beach, they're very respectful, they clean up, they take their things to the beach, they come back and they're gone. And I think that that's a great opportunity. I thought that was one of the reasons why the street was left without parking all the time, to give people an opportunity to enjoy the beach.
Thank you. Please, sir.
Bill Cotter, 20 Circle Drive in Margate. I've not been before the commission for a while. I see the 3-minute clock is a new addition to it, so I will keep my comments fairly brief. It pains me, first of all, to come before the commission for any complaint, just simply because I think that you're generally doing a good job and you clearly have the best interest of the community at heart. But in general, I think you know, as John and a few others have mentioned, that the commission needs to address the education costs that are arising throughout the town, in our school system here. There are only a few of us here, but I can tell you from all the comments I've heard and all the conversations I have, that there is an undercurrent within this town regarding the increasing burden that the town is paying for this education. I know the cost have stayed fairly constant, but certainly the students have dropped, and therefore the cost per education per student has increased. It's also painfully aware to a variety of people within the town that the performance of those students isn't increasing along with the cost. It seems to parallel that of other cities, not cities that you would want to have a parallel, that of Newark, that of Atlantic City to some degree. The point of it is just simply that there's an opportunity here with the commissioners to reduce the burden of the town at a time when the town is going to have to pick up a higher county tax burden. It would be great if the overall tax burden for the residents of this town stayed stagnant. That being said, the only way that's going to happen is for the town to reduce the taxes. And the only way that can possibly happen is by focusing on the largest expense, which is education. I don't want to get into the specifics. I know you know much more about that than I do. I can only tell you that it's clear to a lot of people within this town that we are spending way too much on the education, and it seems to me that we are getting to a point in time where there needs to be a better focus on the consolidation of the schools. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Please come forward.
Bob Gendelman, 11 South Vendome. In reference to the parking issue, I think we all feel, at least the people that are here right now, that we love the feeling of that suburban feeling on our block. You know, we like the quietness, and that's why we chose the lots that we live on. And how do we go about changing the ordinance to the way it is right now? Okay, I mean, I should say not the way it is right now, but the way it's been, okay? Okay, so how do we go about getting that started?
If this commission chooses to go down that path, we will involve the people and all that, but that'll be decided between the three of us, and it'll be discussed, and if we go forward with it, there'll be, you know, public comment here, as there is every 2 weeks at meetings. So, okay?
Is that a consideration, you think, or are you going to discuss it?
We'll talk about it, sir.
Okay.
Certainly consider it, absolutely.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other public comment? Is there a motion to close public comment?
I'll make a motion to close.
Hold on, we have...
I am Mark Leavenworth, 10 South Vendome. I echo the sentiments of the neighbors, but in addition to that, I wanted to make sure that we all know that I wouldn't lump Vendome and Reunion with Cedar Grove. Both the 100 blocks of north of Union and Vendome are both one way. Cedar Grove is a much wider street, so if Cedar Grove and the builders that are developing Cedar Grove are looking for parking, overnight parking on both sides of the street, that's not the wish of most of the neighbors on both Union and Vendome. We all have driveways that we use overnight. If there's on-street parking overnight, I'm not sure that our driveways much use to us. Just keeping on these streets and north sides of the streets.
Good point.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Good point, sir.
Mike, I think I'd like to make a comment, Chief. John, you know, again, I haven't been involved in this, and it's really outside of my department, but from where I sit here listening to this issue, this seems to me to be a case of, if it's not broken, let's not fix it. If it seems like something's been working for 10 years since, you know, whether or not it's right or wrong, and that this ordinance has been buried or was never enacted to eliminate all the restrictions, I would suggest that we strongly consider passing a law that suggests the way Chief has been doing it for 10 years, we continue to do it that way. So if it's alternate side of the street parking, whatever it is, because I don't really know what it is, then maybe we should seriously consider leaving it that way or codifying the way it is now so that we're legal in the future. That's what I think we should consider.
I like it. Do any of you people vote here? I think we should ask for a recommendation from our police chief as a first start, and then we'll see where we go from there. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay, cool. Okay. Where are we? Any other public comment, guys? Okay, the motion to close public comment.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any public comment on resolutions and where's this? This motion to close public
I'll
comment.
make that motion.
I'll second it.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I
Joanna?
have a motion to adopt resolution ordinance number 18-2016, amending and supplementing revised general ordinance of the city of Margate?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for Resolution 162, authorizing bill payment to Colmar Home Center?
I'll make that motion.
Can somebody second?
We'll both
Second
second
it.
Mayor Becker?
I abstain.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for Resolution 163, authorizing bill payment and claims?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for Resolution 164, 2016?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Good job,
Mayor
Lisa.
Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for Resolution 165, 2016, change order number 1 for fuel tank removal?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for Resolution 166, authorizing a partnership agreement between the City of Margate and the County of Atlantic?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for Resolution 167, authorizing the amendment of the Employees Policy and Procedure Manual?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
A motion for Resolution number 168, authorizing the cancellation of various improvements, authorization of water, sewer, and utility capital
I'll
funds.
make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
A motion for Resolution number 169, 216, authorizing cancellation of various improvement authorizations of general capital fund.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Is there any other business? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Thank you all for being here.